Know your church. Our community spends far too much time in worship to be as poor as we are, as sick as we are, and to have our families as divided as they are. It is my personal mission to change that reality. This video will review the structure of the AME Church. The AME Church has an Episcopal form of governance. The basis for authority is the combined voice of the entire church. The center of authority is the General Conference. The General Conference assigns bishops. Bishops hold annual conferences and assign pastors and presiding elders. Presiding elders superintend districts. There are 5 conferences in the AME Church. The first conference is the General Conference. The General Conference meets every 4 years. It should have met in 2020, but because of COVID-19, it will convene in 2021. Orlando is the host city for the General Conference. The General Conference is composed of an equal number of lay and clergy delegates. The General Conference reviews reports of the bishops, general officers, and connectional officers. At the General Conference, we elect and assign bishops. We update the Book of Discipline, and we develop the general budget for the next 4 years. The Annual Conference. We are in the 7th Episcopal District, which we frequently abbreviate the SED. The SED is composed of the state of South Carolina. Within the state of South Carolina, there are 6 annual conferences: the South Carolina Annual Conference, the Palmetto Annual Conference, the Northeast Annual Conference, the Columbia Annual Conference, the Central Annual Conference, and the Piedmont Annual Conference. The South Carolina Annual Conference is the oldest annual conference south of the Mason-Dixon line. Some call us the Mother Conference. The annual conference is presided over by Samuel Lawrence Green Sr., the presiding prelate of the 7th Episcopal District. He presides over all 6 of the annual conferences within the 7th Episcopal District. We are in the South Carolina Annual Conference, and our conference is comprised of 3 presiding elder districts: the Beaufort District, the Ediston District, and the Charleston District. There are 91 congregations in the South Carolina Annual Conference. Each year at the annual conference, pastors submit a comprehensive report for the review of the conference. This report includes not only financial information, but also information on all the ministries of the church and the property owned by the church. The other annual conference ministries also submit reports to the annual conference. The annual conference officers are elected or appointed at the annual conference. And every 4 years, delegates and alternates are elected for the General Conference at the annual conference. Those who are going into ministry are reviewed and ordained at the annual conference, and pastors are assigned at the close of each annual conference. The district conference. We are in the Beaufort District, and our presiding elder is the Reverend Philip C. Anderson. There are 31 congregations in our district. The district ministries are required to report to the district conference. Lay and clergy training is often provided at the district conference. Candidates for ministry are examined and evaluated at the district conference. The quarterly conference. The quarterly conference is presided over by the presiding elder. It's conducted every 3 months. The quarterly conference will take place at Campbell Chapel when we're worshiping in person, or on Zoom or the presiding elder conference call system. All ministries are audited at the quarterly conference. Every ministry submits a financial statement to the quarterly conference. Every ministry submits a financial statement to the quarterly conference. At Campbell Chapel, that statement is usually generated by the Commission on Stewardship and Finances and signed by the secretary, treasurer, and president of the local ministry. Members may appeal to the presiding elder at a quarterly conference to override an official board or pastor's decision. If you'd like to make an appeal to a quarterly conference, you must submit your appeal in writing at least 2 weeks before the quarterly conference convenes. Stewards are confirmed at the first quarterly conference of the conference year. At the fourth quarterly conference, the congregation makes a recommendation for the pastoral leadership of the upcoming year. Candidates for ministry are examined at quarterly conferences. All full members may vote on a matter at a quarterly conference, and the roll is officially adjusted at the quarterly conference. Church conference. The church conference is presided over by the pastor. There is always at least one church conference each year, if for no other reason than to elect trustees and other officers. However, the pastor may call as many church conferences as necessary. A congregation is not allowed to incur indebtedness without first being approved through the church conference. People going into ministry are examined by the church conference. And the church conference is a place where people can air their concerns and make recommendations for the overall ministry of the church. Classification of members. Here are the various roles of the church. Please know they're not linear. They often overlap. The first role is the cradle role. Officially, children are added to the cradle role when they are baptized, and they remain on the cradle role until they start school. The preparatory members are all of our members under the age of 18 who are preparing to become full members. In some congregations, you're enrolled in the preparatory role when you officially join the church somewhere around the age of 12, and you remain on the preparatory role until you're 18. New members. New member role are any members who have joined the church but have not been received into full membership. Full members. Full members are members who have joined the church, are over the age of 18, have completed the new members class, and have received the right hand of fellowship. Affiliated members. Affiliated members are members who hold full membership in another congregation but are worshiping with us. Active members. The Book of Discipline allows us to have an active member role. The local congregation can determine what qualifies a member to be an active member. Usually the qualifications are based on the number of worship experiences they have and how frequently they participate in giving. Inactive members. Members can be declared inactive if they do not complete the requirements to be on the active member role. So if a member has stopped attending worship or has stopped providing financial support to the church, their names may be placed on the inactive role. Here are the various officers of the church. The first are stewards. Stewards are the highest lay office, and they're responsible for the spiritual health of the congregation. In most AME churches, there will be at least 3 stewards, but no more than 19. At Campbell Chapel, we have 19 stewards. A steward must be the chairperson for all of the commissions. Stewards are considered the pastor's cabinet. They serve 1-year terms, but they may serve an unlimited number of consecutive terms. To be a steward, you must be a member of the congregation for at least 2 years. The pastor has the privilege of appointing a junior steward board. Trustees. Trustees are elected by the congregation. The pastor nominates twice the number of trustees that will be elected. Trustees care for the temporal property of the congregation. To be a trustee, you must be a full member for at least 1 year before you are elected. Trustees serve 1-year terms, and they may serve an unlimited number of consecutive terms. Class leaders. Class leaders are considered to be sub-pastors. Every member of a congregation is assigned to a class leader. The class leader serves as mentor, communication link, and information providers. The class leaders recommend people for leadership positions, and the class leader holds class meetings. Class leaders plan class projects. In many congregations, they are used to collect offerings. This is infrequently done at Campbell Chapel. They nominate members for the special prayer lists and they inform the pastor of the members' special needs. Commissions. Campbell Chapel has 9 commissions: Christian education, Christian social action, church administration, health, membership and evangelism, mission and welfare, public relations, stewardship and finance, and worship. Most congregations have 7 commissions. We have added church administration and worship. Commissions are elected at the church conference, and a steward must serve as the chairperson of each commission. Commissions supervise the local ministries and serve as a resource to local ministries. So if you're in a local ministry, the first place you should go to have your questions answered or for guidance is to the commission. Most commissions have 7 executives or commissioners. However, they may recruit other members to serve or assist in that ministry. Several commissions have connectional relationship, and they receive guidance and direction from their chain of command. Ministry chairs are elected by the members of the ministry they serve. Elections are held annually and presided over by the pastor. Ministry chairs serve 1-year terms. They are members of the official board, and their first level of responsibility is for the spiritual well-being of their members. However, they also guide the ministry in developing the mission, vision, core value statement, calendar, budget, and operating procedures. Ministry chairs preside over the ministry meetings, which are frequently monthly or quarterly. Ministry chairs provide a monthly written report to the official board. Ministry chairs review and sign the ministry's financial report to the quarterly conference. Ministry chairs develop a slate of officers for the next conference year at the end of each conference year. And at the end of their term, they provide a comprehensive turnover with the new ministry chair. The official board. The official board meets monthly to review the local ministries, coordinate ministry efforts, plan future ministry, and conduct the business of the congregation. The pastor presides over the official board. Official board meetings are open to all members. However, only members of the official board may vote. Voting members of the official board. Voting members of the official board includes all class leaders, exalters, deaconess, stewards, trustees, studess, and all presidents of local organizations. Any member may participate in a conversation or discussion at an official board meeting. Any member may make an appeal to the official board. The official board approves the annual calendar and budget. Local ministries. Here are the local ministries of Campbell Chapel: Church School, Commission on Christian Education, Commission on Christian Social Action, Commission on Church Admin, Commission on Health, Commission on Evangelism and Discipleship, Commission on Mission and Welfare, Commission on Public Relations, Commission on Stewardship and Finances, Commission on Worship. The Contemporary Choir, Hospitality Committee, Lay Organization, Male Tones, Married Couples Ministry, Men's Health Ministry, Pastor's Aid, Safety and Security, Scholarship, Sons of Allen. Students Board, Unity Choir, Usher Board, WMS, Young Voices of Praise, and YPD. Connectional organizations are ministries that meet on all of the levels of the church, and they include the WMS, YPD, Sons of Allen, DMC, Church School, and RAAC. For Campbell Chapel, and for the AME Church in general, tithing is our primary method of financial stewardship. All members are encouraged to be tithers. At Campbell Chapel, we do not rely on special rallies, fundraisers, or campaigns to meet our operational budget. We live on the tithes and offerings of our congregation. The historic chapel is funded by free-willed gifts, grants, and donations. The mission of the local church. Our mission statement mirrors the mission statement for the African Methodist Episcopal Church. It is our mission at Campbell Chapel to minister to the spiritual, intellectual, physical, emotional, and environmental needs of all people by spreading Christ's liberating gospel through word and deed. Vision. The vision of Campbell Chapel AME Church is to gather people of every ethnic group, gender, age, and social status in Christian fellowship, and to seek to uplift all people in the same spirit God charged our foremothers and fathers. That is, no one should be denied the opportunity to know Christ and to live out God's purpose for them. So how does all of this come together? It comes together under a mechanism known as the pastor's office. All legitimate power and authority in an AME congregation flows through the pastor's office. The pastor is the ex officio chairperson of every ministry. The pastor is held accountable for all legal actions of the congregation. The pastor fulfills his or her duties through the officers and ministries of the congregation. The pastor's office is not the person that serves as pastor, but all of the members that work together to fulfill the mission of the congregation. The culture of the pastor's office. The paradigm for the pastor's office is that of a body. It is not a business, a team, or a network. In some other polities and other denominations, they utilize a business culture or a team culture or a network culture. We adopt the culture that is demonstrated in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, that we're one body and that we're mutually dependent upon each other and that we mutually support each other. We share each other's burdens. When one part of the pastor office fails, the office fails. When one part of the pastor office succeeds, the office succeeds. We're all in this together. The primary function or mission of the pastor's office is to take responsibility for the daily functions of the congregation. That long list of stewards, trustees, class leaders, and ministry chairs, their role is to take responsibility for the running of the daily functions of the church. When it's done properly, the pastor is free to spend most of his or her time ministering to the needs of the people through preaching, teaching, prayer, pastoral care, and counseling. Much of the administrative functions, guidance, direction, information, and planning takes place through the pastor's office, not through the individual called the pastor. The Bible and the pastor's office. Matthew 10:40. He that receives you receives me, and he that receives me receives him that sent me. Now, Jesus made this statement about the Father and himself. This statement can also be applied to the pastor and the pastor's office. Those who are sent in the pastor's office represent the pastor, and those who receive those who are sent in the pastor's office receive the guidance and support of the pastor. When you speak as a member of the pastor's office, you speak with all of the authority of the pastor. Jeremiah 3:15 and 16. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, saith the Lord, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more. When the pastor's office functions properly, the members multiply and increase in the land. It is impossible for one individual to manage all of the ministries of the church. But when those who have been elected, confirmed, appointed, and sent perform their duties, then the people multiply and increase in the land. Ephesians 4:11 through 15. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ, till all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and the cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love, may grow up unto him in all things, which is the head, even Christ. For this model of the pastor's office to work, every member of the pastor's office must do his or her job. That is what facilitates the maturing of the saints. In many congregations, the bottleneck for ministry and the bottleneck for growth is the pastor. The pastor tries to oversee and rule all of the activities of the church. That may work for a very small congregation, but as we begin to grow and expand, it is impossible for one person to manage all those ministries. Therefore, the pastor relies on all the members of the pastor's office to function in his or her stead. Let's bring all this together by looking at practical applications. Here are 10. Number 1, produce completed staff work. You are responsible for the ministry on which you have been appointed, elected, confirmed, or assigned. You are responsible. The buck stops with you. You must do what is necessary to complete your mission. When you come to a board meeting, bring completed staff work. Do the research necessary so that the board may make a yes or no decision. Number 2, avoid using the pastor as a communication link. Get accustomed to communicating to ministries directly. If you have an issue that involves stewardship and finances, go directly to stewardship and finances. If you have an issue that involves church administration, go directly to church administration. Number 3, cooperatively work across ministry lines. We have to become comfortable working with each other. We have to become comfortable in each other's space. Cooperatively work across ministry lines. Number 4, do vision casting at the beginning of each conference year. All of our speculation should be done right at the beginning of the conference year. We should come out of our planning season with a calendar, a budget, and with a plan. As we go through the conference year, there may be times that we adjust these items, but we should realize that most of our visionary work should be done before we begin. Prior planning prevents poor performance. Number 5, seek answers from the responsible ministry. Go to the right person. So many times people will call the pastor, who then has to call a ministry chair and call back the person who made the request. Cut out the middle person. Go directly to the responsible ministry. Number 6, use language of unity and love. Sometimes we think we're doing the right thing when we bring business language into the church. And because it may be proper in a business setting, doesn't make it proper in a church setting. We're a body, not a business, not a team, not a network. We are the body of Christ on earth. And we communicate using language of unity and love. Number 7, seek unity in diversity. It's okay that people may disagree. It's wonderful to hear other opinions. Do not see that as a negative. If we bring up an issue and someone has a different opinion, they're entitled to their different opinion. We are a diverse body. Not all of us have the same function, but we have unity in our diversity. Number 8, be respectful. We can disagree and never disrespect each other. We can work together with a mutual respect that overcomes any of our small differences. Number 9, focus on the big picture. And I want to say a lot falls under this category. For example, when we're in a board meeting, it's not a time just to present a thought that popped into your head. Keep your eyes on the big picture. What is the agenda item on the table at that time? How does that agenda item affect our future? There are times that we may have certain questions that come in and out that we need clarity on, but be sure that clarity is for the group and moves the group toward a decision and not just a curiosity you may have. Your curiosities should be addressed outside of the meeting. Mission essential issues should be addressed in the meeting. And 10, have a mentor. Not only a mentor for the church, but a mentor for your life. That helps us to move forward when we have people speaking into our lives. If we apply all of this, I'm certain that we'll see a giant move forward in our ministry. Keep everyone in your prayers. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me with any of your questions or concerns involving this training. God bless you, Campbell Chapel.